it was just like fun little tidbits about her job as a dentist. And people just were like, wow, you know, and they just resonated. And the thing that she was doing there that I thought was brilliant was she was adding interesting tidbits, kind of like you're doing, and attaching it onto her area, so that people are like, oh, I know what this is now. And then she started getting this clientele as a brand new dentist, a huge clientele, and the marketing was amazing, although it wasn't intentional, where like kids who are watching her content are saying, Mom, Dad, I want to go over here, kind of thing. And so she had, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if this is like a track you're on, I was mentioning earlier how storylines are really a big thing for people to say, okay, I can follow that, I can relate, I can find myself in the story. And the biggest part is when we are able to show the process of our evolution even, you know. And so here you are in the midst of your studies, you're not even finished yet. You are just amongst many other geology students, thousands of them across, you know, who are all trying to make their mark in some way, but they're following the system, you know what I'm saying? They're going through their education, they're going to apply for a job, but, you know, when someone sees your resume, they're going to be like, hey, I don't know this person from Adam or Eve. How to be able to make your mark in such a way whereby even before you finish your degree, you have a brand name that people are like, okay, and you have something carrying on with you by way of momentum because you've already been contributing towards this community in such a way that is expanding it to others outside of it. You're not just kind of stuck in the ivory tower, but you're actually making it accessible to people who are like, I made my decision based on the content that you might be providing. Is that something that would be like exciting for you?
That's actually very exciting. I think, I mean, even though I had a late start at the extracurricular activities and all, but I've been trying to get to that position where people do know, and they would want to, you know, talk to me about it or learn something.
And they're gonna like seek you out because you're gonna be their voice in this whole way. And and then there'll be others who come alongside who are further ahead of you, who are like, we appreciate what you're doing, how can we partner with you? How can, now you see you actually have a name because of the value brought to your community.
Exactly.
So if this is something that you're interested in, you already know you're locked in, consider cataloging your process. Saying, here's my destination that I'm aiming for as my goal, but in the way of aiming for this goal, here's what I got to go through. I got this exam for this. I got this new discovery here. Here's what I'm doing this weekend by way of going out for a hike and looking for this. But you started to bring people into your world, and not only are you presenting the content that you're going through and learning, but you're also showing them a trajectory of where you're heading, and they're coming alongside where they feel very personally invested.
Exactly. That's what I'm also aiming for.
Good.
So that people feel safe with me. They feel like they are able to trust me.
Yeah.
And I'm able to maintain that trust.
Good.
Not just because it'll help with networking, but because, well, you know, going through depression, I've had people where I've had times where I've not been able to talk to anyone really.
Yeah.
And I remember this one time, I was in a bus stop and this guy was just sitting near me, and all he did was ask me if I was okay. But the way he asked me, it just, something changed.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to do that to people
Absolutely.
who has, you know, undisclosed mental illnesses and stuff.
Yeah.
So even if they don't want to talk about geology or studies,
Sure.
I like them to be able to trust me enough to, you know, confide something or even just talk. You know, hi, how are you doing?
That comes after they've seen a consistency in accessibility to you and your story.
Yeah.
To be able to say, okay, she's been consistent throughout here. I'm going to relinquish myself to her. I'm going to open up and share this gift of oneself. Okay, so I only have a couple of minutes here. I'm going to ask you a request first and foremost.
Sure.
Before I ask that request, I would love for you to say no if you do not feel comfortable with it. Consent is huge for me. So the request is, when I don't drive my Uber, I do a lot of content myself online.
Right.
My primary theme is on how we can connect with each other in a social, relational way, which doesn't happen very often, I think. But that's what really drives me.
Yeah.
My followers usually follow my work because they're inspired by what could be, you know. And so every once in a while I come across an Uber ride where I'm like, this conversation is fantastic.
Honestly,
and I'd love to feature it. But if you're uncomfortable with being on video on the internet, that's why I want to say the consent piece is really important for me. And I encourage you to say no if it's like the thing where you're like, I'm not ready for that.
I love that.
Do you feel comfortable signing my consent form?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get you started on that while I pay for you. So have a read through that. The pen is just on the bottom there, dear. I'll give you my card as well so you can keep in touch with me if you like.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I was actually thinking about it. You're not going to believe me. I was like, well, I really like talking to him. You're very impersonable.
Thank you.
So I honestly loved our discussion.
I'm just nosy.
Well, you're not the bad kind of nosy. You're the actual good kind.
Thank you.
And we like that in the world because I see people like a little, generation older than us, and just some people around us. They are very inquisitive, but not maliciously necessarily, but they just want to know everything. And
I know.
the way they ask, it's a bit antagonistic.
I know what you mean.
But this I enjoy.
Good. I find there's a certain nuance in which application is kind of helpful.
Yes.
And secondly, I think I would love to encourage you to consider branching into your own, in essence, like in business speak, they call it a brand.
Yeah.
You are your own brand, and I would love to encourage what could be for you. So I'll give you just some simple things that I've learned along the way here, because mine is just fairly new as well too, but I think I've learned a lot along the way.
I feel the same way actually. I like to learn from people.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's hearing different experiences and resonating with some, and others saying, that could be a different path from the one I'm going to take. And it's the 18th today, I believe.
Yes. Parenting.
I know, right?
That's funny.
Ooh, nice colors on your nails, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So, this is me.
Yes.
This is my handle. My website's not quite up yet, but you can find me primarily on TikTok and Instagram, but I also do post on YouTube.
Okay.
My LinkedIn is not as active nonetheless, but that's... And then, send me an email.
Absolutely.
That way you can feel free if you want to reach out or not. But it'd be nice to carry on.
I would love that.
I'd love to encourage
Yes,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, you're intriguing.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Oh, and you're really nice. I love that dog.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It was really fun talking to you.
I enjoyed your company as well.
Have a good day, and I will be in contact.
Okay.
And thank you for that.
You're very welcome, my dear. Have a great Thursday.
You too. Safe
Okay.
driving.
All right.